Well, welcome back. Below Average Wild Camper, and it's Sunday the 9th of November, so it's Remembrance Sunday, and I'm out by myself and I'm in Thrunton Woods. Well, I've parked in Thrunton Woods and my plan is to hike to Coe Crags and do a wild camp on Coe Crags. I've seen a few videos of people on Coe Crags, but not many, and there's a chance I won't be able to fit me MLD cricket where I wanted to go, so we'll just have to see how it goes. Anyway, I'm by myself. I think my dad wanted to go out on his bike today, but we'll be out next week. So as I said, I'm going to get to Coe Crags and then we'll see if we can pitch the tent. It's about a 3-mile hike and it makes a nice change being in the woods, in autumn particularly. Anyway, I'll crack on and I'll see you when we're at Coe Crags. Well, as you can see, I've managed to get it pitched. Sunset is 4:15 and it's 25 past 4 now, so I'm just getting it up in time. And as you can see, I'm right on a ledge. The initial spot I intended to do, I just couldn't get the cricket in that, not without rubbing the fabric on lots of rocks. So anyway, that seems fine. I'm right on the edge, so me and my wife Kitty watched Highland Cops the other night, and when Kitty watches this I better get told off. But I promise I won't go around the back of the tent. I'll show you what that looks like in a bit. Anyway, yeah, so I'm with the cricket again just because it's small, a smaller footprint than the Dumit at least. So I'm going to get all my stuff in before it is dark, and then I'll tell you what we're having for tea. Right, so I'm all set up. I'll tell you what I've brought. It's really mild, so I've brought me Thermarest X-Therm, which is brand new. It's the Thermarest X-Therm NXT, which I got given as a replacement for the one I originally bought, which was the normal X-Therm. So I had to send me Uberlight back to Thermarest. They replaced that, and now they've replaced me X-Therm. So that's 2 I've had from them. So it seems as though that lifetime warranty does stand, as long as you don't knack it, as long as it's just a fault. Anyway, so yes, I brought my X-Therm. I've gone back to me summer quilt, my Enlightened Equipment Enigma quilt, because like I said, it's just not, it's not cold at all. And then I brought me bug bivvy, my lightweight bug bivvy from Bora Gear. Not for the extra warmth really, just to protect me my sleeping bag from the walls of the tent, because I can already feel they're getting a bit damp because there's a lot of fog. We're in a bit of a cloud. So yes, so as I said, all set up. I've got my long johns on, my quilted jacket, and I think I'm gonna just some nice little sheltered like caves, almost like overhanging rocks, and I think that's where I'll do my cooking. So I'm going to do Trangia and I'm going to do mince and dumplings. I'll tell you about that when I get set up. Right, well I'm all set up in me cave at Coe Crags. What a class spot. It's a shame Dave's not here, like that would have been a bit handy to help us film it and light it. So we're going to have mince and dumplings, and I'm going to put a slight twist on it. It's going to be like beef and ale flavoured, so I'm going to use some beer to flavour it. So the ingredients, we've got 1 carrot and 1 onion, and then so I'm going to saute the onion and then carrot, then add the steak mince, and then we'll thicken that with some flour, seasoned with some mustard powder, some thyme, some black pepper, and then we're going to throw in one of those no beef stock pots, and then we're going to make the gravy with basically beer. And then once that's all cooked, then I've got some suet, self-raising flour, seasoned. We'll make a dumpling, stick that on, put the lid on, then leave that to cook. It'll probably take about 20 to 30 minutes for the dumpling to cook. So I better get cracking prepping me vegetables, and I'll bring you back when I start cooking. Right, so I've prepped my vegetables. The oil's heating up, so a bit of olive oil in my saucepan. I'm going to turn my head torch around so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, and I need my wooden spoon. So this is my littlest Trangia, because there's only me. So this is the Trangia 27, which is counterintuitive. The 27's smaller than the 25. So one big carrot and one white onion. So we'll just saute this, get a bit of colour on the onion, soften them, to help the sort of water come out. Put a little pinch of salt in, like that. Because it's just me, I can't really give you any close-ups of the cooking, but well, I'll try later on anyway. It smells amazing already. I feel like I'm in sort of some prehistoric caveman situation. It's amazing. What an amazing location this is. I don't know if you can hear us. I feel like I need to keep my voice down for some reason. I feel like the caveman might come round the corner. Right, so I think I'll put the lid on that and just let that cook out for a bit. Right, so those onions and carrots are cooking along nicely, so now we're going to put a bit of meat in. So I've got 250 grams of just beef mince from Sainsbury's. I'll turn my head torch around so I can see what I'm doing. So I need to brown this mince off. This is where I spill everything out the pan. I'm very sheltered, so this Trangia is red hot. I might need to put my simmering on soon once I've got this steak browned. Right, so when I've got it browned, I'll bring you back for the next stage. Right, so these the mince is nicely browned. So I'm going to turn my head torch around a bit, and then I'm going to add some maybe 2 teaspoons of plain flour with some mustard powder, and some black pepper. So we'll get that in, and that will just thicken up the gravy. I'm starting to come to the conclusion, because really I've not used this little Trangia set for a good while. I tend to take out my bigger one, the Trangia 25, because it's normally me and my dad. But I'm coming to the conclusion, even for one person, this smaller Trangia set is a bit of a pain in the arse, even for one person. So I think I might abandon this, even if I'm by myself, and just use the big ones, because there's more room in the pan and you're not constantly like spilling over stuff, you know. So I'm just cooking that flour out. That doesn't take long. And I'm going to put in now one of them no beef stock pots, which are brilliant, these. Something good, this. So the main ingredient for the beef and ale mince and dumplings is the ale. And so in honour of Sunderland doing very well, I've got a bottle of double Maxim, which used to be brewed by Vaux. I don't think it is now, like. And I probably don't need all that, but I don't drink, so what a waste of double Maxim, eh, Dave? Your dad could have drank that. I'll probably squeeze a bit more in a bit. I'll just see how the pan settles. Smells absolutely top draw. Right, so now I've got the liquid in, I'm going to put the simmer ring on, because like I said, this is red hot, this Trangia. So I'll lift that up, drop the simmer ring on, and then stick the frying pan on as a lid. Oh, and I've got one bay leaf as well to hoy in. I forgot to say, in that seasoned flour I also had a bit of thyme. So it was seasoned flour, mustard powder, black pepper and a bit of thyme. Right, we'll just let that simmer, not for very long. Then I'm going to make me dumplings. So in here, and I've probably got too much given that this pan's littler than I remember, I've got 100 grams of self-raising flour and 50 grams of suet and a big pinch of salt and black pepper. I'm going to add a bit of water. I'm going to put a rubber glove on, add a bit of water, mix it into a dough and then plonk it on the top, and then use the other saucepan as the lid so the dumplings got room to rise. It'll take a while to cook that, so I reckon I might need to put a bit more alcohol in. So before I do the dumpling, I'll check what the alcohol situation is. Anyway, I'm waffling. Right, okay, so that mince is totally nicely simmered. I've created a dumpling, just one, and I'm going to make it quite flat. And then I'm going to put it on, and like I said, I'm going to use the saucepan, the spare saucepan as the lid, so the dumpling's got a bit of room to rise, okay? So I'm trying to not make a mess. I've got a glove on covered in dough. So I'm going to turn my light round so I can see what I'm doing. So let's take the lid off. Might give it just one last little mix around just so it's not catching on the bottom. Just to make sure there's enough liquid, I might also just put a little bit more of this double maxim in. You can use Newcastle brown ale if the thought of using double maxim offends you. Right, so get this nice flat dumpling, put it on, that's it, and then put the lid on like that. Job's a goodie. And I did all that without making a complete mess. Well, I'm saying that, I've just heard the whole pot's boiling over, so I have made a mess. Anyway, when it starts to rise, I'll give you a look. Right, well, as you've just seen, that dumpling's looking, well, as near as done as I need it to be. Yeah, it's definitely done that. So I will take it off the heat. Pop it down there. The Trangia is an absolute clip. Yeah, that's just, I'm not taking this out again, it's just too small. It's going to take us ages to clean this up. Anyway, we'll blow it out. That's it. So that's it, steak and ale, mince and dumplings. Right, it's a big old portion. Just turn me torch round. Oh yeah, that dumpling's lovely. That's mega, that. Right, shame you couldn't be here, Dave, you could have had a bit of this. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy that, and then I'm going to get in me, well, after I've washed up, I'm going to get in me tent, then I'm going to watch
couple of episodes of that Slow Horses I've downloaded.
Thank you so much for the call. Jack, Mike, you're a Man City fan.
I am, Robbie, I am indeed. Well,
Right, well, I'm all tucked up. All tucked up in my tent. That was a fantastic meal. Fantastic. But it just took us about half an hour to clean up, like, so I've properly thoroughly washed up everything. There was gravy everywhere. But it's clean as a whistle now, ready for the morning for porridge. So I'm back in my tent. I've just remembered why I didn't like using this Bora Gear lightweight bug bivvy. It's because it's so slippy, and I am on a very slight decline, so I've got a feeling my feet's going to be touching the bottom of the tent. But I think what I'll do, I think on the bottom side of the bivvy I'll use some silicone, which I've got for like seam sealing, and I might run a few like stripes of silicone on the bottom of it just to get a bit of grip, because it's unbelievable how slippy it is. But I haven't used it for about 18 months to 2 years, so now I remember why I didn't use it. Anyway, I'm going to get myself tucked up, and I'm going to maybe listen to the radio for a little bit longer. Then I'm going to watch a couple of episodes, like I said, of that Slow Horses. I'm going to phone Kitty. Time is it now? It's 7:30. So I'll be asleep by 10, I'm sure. Anyway, I'll wish you night. God bless. Night night. Well, morning. Slept on and off. Not great, but not as bad as last week. But anyway, I've got the kettle on and I'm making some porridge. I'm having to use my phone because my proper camera's playing up a little bit. But it's not raining, but it has been raining on and off throughout the night. You can see my breath, but it doesn't feel very cold, I don't think. So I'm gonna have this porridge, drink my coffee, get packed up, and I'll show you outside the tent once I've done all that. Hopefully my proper camera will be working by then. Well, morning. It's about, let's have a look. Well, it is 6:37. I think I went to sleep about 1. Well, I went to sleep earlier than that, but I didn't get to sleep properly until about 1, I think. And then I woke up again about 4 and then 5. So I slept all right, but not great. Certainly better than last week when I was out with my dad. Anyway, I made me porridge and a coffee. I didn't show you that though because my camera was playing up. I'll not bore you with the details, but anyway, I've fixed it now. Bloody technology. So I'll have this. I might start packing up, and then I'll try and take a bit more video outside when we've got a bit more light, just to show you where I am, because I don't think I got much of a chance last night because I got here a bit too late. I wish I'd given myself another hour. It's an area I think I'd like to come back though when they've got some clear skies, because it's very photogenic, but it was very, like, we were basically in a cloud last night, so everything's very damp. Very damp. Anyway, I'm waffling, so I'm just going to eat this porridge and I'll see you when I get out the tent. Right, well, I'm all packed up, so I'm gonna drop the tent and then we'll get back to the van. Sun's just starting to make an appearance on the trees behind us.
Well, as you can see, packed up, no trace left, as it should be. What a fantastic location and a fantastic camp. The backdrop is amazing, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to head back to the van, so I'm not going to waffle any longer. Hope you've enjoyed that video. Please leave a comment. Any questions, we're happy to answer them, or any advice, I'm always happy to receive. So yes, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.